Hello friends and potential friends. Well, if you've been following any of my garden updates recently, you know I've been picking a lot of peppers. And there's still a lot more of them growing out there. Just as a little bit of an example, this is the pile of peppers I've picked in the last week. These are the ones that haven't made it into my belly or into the freezer. And as I'll show you in a minute, there's not much room left in the freezer. The last couple of months I've had 2 different batches of stuffed peppers, and they were good. I even stuffed some cream cheese into a few Jimmy Nardellos and banana peppers just to add a little bit of variety. Also made a big batch of jalapeno poppers about a month ago. But I'm still up to my ears in peppers, so it's time to do something. I'm going to get chopping here. My plan is to can up some pickled peppers. Some of the jars will be hot peppers, some will be the mild banana peppers, maybe a few Jimmy Nardellos and such. So let me get chopping, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to do whatever I do next. Did I mention that I've been getting a lot of peppers lately? Jimmy Nardellos, red Marconis, California Wonder bell peppers. These ones are corbaci. There's a bunch of jalapenos under there. A few puzajawalas. Ajvarskis. Badel peppers. Lemon drops. As much as I hate to, I think I'm going to have to start doing some canning pretty soon. And these are the ones that I didn't eat. I either need to start doing some canning, which I hate to do this time of year, or I need another freezer. Okay, I've been chopping peppers. On the left are the sweet peppers. It's a combination of banana peppers and Jimmy Nardellos. And on the right we have the hot peppers. It's mostly jalapenos. I did throw in a couple of puzajawalas and a couple of lemon drops. And just guessing at that, I'd say it looks like we're going to get probably 6 to 8 pint jars out of those. I've also started up my brine. Well, I hadn't started it up, but now it's started up. I'm making 2 different kinds of brine. This one over here is for the hot peppers, and it consists of 3½ cups of white vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of pickling salt. For the sweet peppers, we have 3 cups of white vinegar, 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of pickling salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now, both of these could also take about a 1/4 teaspoon of calcium chloride or pickle crisp. I don't have any of that, so I'm not going to use any of that. And that actually goes into the jars. And let's see, other options that they talk about. I could put 2 or 3 teaspoons of mustard seeds or 2 or 3 teaspoons of celery seeds. And I'm not going to do that either. I'll bring both of those to a low boil. Make sure everything's good and incorporated. And meanwhile, I'm going to get some jars set up and put them in the water bath canner and start them boiling to sterilize them. So I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I'm back. I've got my jars boiling. They've been boiling for about 5 minutes, maybe 10. Time to take them out of the water. I've got my hot brine over here to your right. Can't really see it, but it's there. The brine for the sweet peppers is still on the stove, but it's cooled a little bit. I've got my lids in a saucepan, just warming up a little bit. I know the ball doesn't really say that's necessary anymore, but it just makes sense to kind of loosen up that rubber seal a little bit. And now it's time to get these jars out of the water and fill them up. Take out 1 hot jar. Yep, that's pretty warm. I need my, I'm going to do the hot peppers first. I don't want to touch these things, so use this spoon to fill up the jars. And we'll see how many I can get here. Hopefully I'm not blocking the view. And yes, I had to put on a shirt for this part. Things I do for my friends. It's probably 100 degrees in here right now, with 100% humidity because of all the boiling water. But I'm just going to pack these jars up, leave about an inch or so of headspace in them. Bring my brine over here. And again, this is the brine I made for the hot peppers. Fill up the jar with the brine, leaving about ½ an inch of headspace. Like so. Take my handy dandy debubbler, which in my personal opinion, based on no scientific evidence, I suspect that debubbling when you're doing water bath is probably even more important than when you're doing pressure canning. Got a little bit of vinegar back here, which I will use to wipe the rims. Make sure there aren't any nicks or scratches. Grab a lid out of the warm water. Grab a ring from over here. Come on. There we go. Just finger tight. Drop the magnet. And put the jar back in the water bath. And grab a second one. Now I know you've seen people fill jars more times than you can imagine, so I'm going to shut this off for a few minutes and get the rest of these jars filled up. Okay, didn't quite have enough hot peppers for the third jar, so I added a few of the sweet peppers in on top of it. Get that one ready to go. This, as I mentioned, this is the third jar of the hot peppers, and I'm guessing I probably hit about 3 jars of the sweet peppers. Put that one in the water bath. And grab another jar. And we'll start with the sweet peppers. That'll be enough of those. Now, sweet pepper brine. And of course, you have to make a mess. It isn't my kitchen if I'm not making messes. A little bit of headspace. Oop. Sorry, had to eat that one. It fell on the towel. That's good for that one. Wipe the rim. Grab another lid. Grab another ring. Finger tight. put it in a canner. So let me finish up the rest of these, and then we'll get ready to start processing. Well, I didn't have enough peppers for that 6th jar, so I'll just stick those in the refrigerator and I'll probably eat them for supper tonight. But I do have 5 pints in the canner. Drop them down into the water. Make sure the water is at least an inch above the top of the jars. And turn the heat back on. Now the ball book calls for processing these jars for 10 minutes for pints. So I'll start the timer for 10 minutes as soon as that comes to a good boil. There, timer's ready. And meanwhile, I'll let y'all take a break. And there's the 10-minute timer. Turn this burner off. Carefully remove that lid. And I need to use my pot hand to hold this for this. Nope, one of them fell over. And let's see what we got here. That's hot. That's a mix of hot and not. That's another hot. There's a mild. And one last mild. 5 pints of pickled peppers. Get this off the heat. Let it cool off for a while. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the pings. And these will sit out here on the cupboard overnight. And in the morning I'll check and see which ones have sealed. Hopefully all of them. Label them, remove the rings, and put them in the pantry. And I guess that's about it, folks. At least I cleared up a little bit of space in the freezer. So I'll see you on the next video.